Now we ready to roll.
Inside the ManCave with Johnny Compian.
Game over, bitches.
Inside the ManCave podcast show. Follow me at Johnny Compian on Twitter. Like and subscribe to my YouTube channel, Inside the ManCave podcast show. And follow me. Oh, wait a minute. Disclaimer. Do not follow me on IG right now. I'll explain later. You can always, follow me on Facebook Meta. Yeah, there's a lot going on with that social media platform with me and Instagram. So if you go back on the last podcast I recorded and uploaded to YouTube, you can check it out, and it'll kind of explain a little bit more about why you can't follow me right now on IG. When I first saw this on Twitter, I had to take a second look. I said, what? Circle K, what? Wait a minute. Circle K, where I go get my my 2 for $5 specials, the brown bag special. That's ice cold beer they have there. And I'm like,
Wait a minute.
Soon at your local Circle K gas station.
It is high time we made it to this next story here. The next time you fill up your tank in Florida, you might be able to fill up your stash box as well. One of the largest cannabis producers is partnering with Circle K gas stations to sell medical marijuana. Xavier Walton is in Miami this morning to explain this new partnership. Xavier, something is afoot at the Circle K.
Mitch, it certainly is. Good morning to you. Good morning to everyone at home. So this is being pegged as a rare, futuristic type deal. And come 2023, some Circle K locations, well, they're going to get a little more convenient.
Flower can be consumed in lots of different ways, often packed in a bowl, bong, rolled in a joint.
This isn't your grandma's Green Thumb, and it's not your grandpa's gas station either. Next year, 10 Circle K stores in Florida will sell weed.
I can tell you one is in St. Pete.
The Sunshine State was high on Green Thumb and Circle K's list. Statistics show some 700,000 Floridians have medical marijuana cards. That's about 1 out of every 30 people in the state.
Florida is still a medical market, very large. It's actually the 3rd largest cannabis market in the country, but it's still medical.
Green Thumb CEO says gas stations appear to be a good fit because that's where millions of Americans get their tobacco.
If you look in the U.S., 88% of cigarettes are currently sold in the convenience store channel, and 0% of cannabis is sold there.
2 companies making a joint effort in Florida to make marijuana more mainstream.
We really think the cannabis industry is like Prohibition 2.0. And when you had moonshine and bathtub gin that soon became Jose Cuervo, Jack Daniels, or Jim Beam, we think weed in a baggie that people may have bought when they were younger is soon to become rhythm.
You're going to be able to get it. You're going to be able to, if you have you have to have a medical marijuana card in order to purchase.
Yes.
Marijuana at your local Circle K in Florida.
What are you talking about? What was happening there?
So yeah, I mean, Texas. What are we doing? Get with the program. Get with it. It's that time to catch up with the rest of the country, man. Everybody's going legal. And you know what I'm getting at? I'm one of those guys that I've told you before. When I was doing this at first, I'm like, I'm not going to get political with you. I don't care what your stance is on this and that. You know what? You can do that somewhere else. But here, I'm going to talk about music. I'm going to talk about things that make you laugh, that make me laugh, and things I can share just that, that are out there that you're not going to hear about. I'm sure you'll hear about it, but I'm talking, you won't get a lot of airplay or coverage on stories that are hilarious, that are funny. And I'll do them. I'll find them and I'll save them and I'll do them, and we can talk about it and laugh, disagree, agree. You can tweet at me anytime you want at Johnny Compian on Twitter.
Pow!
And, when I saw this, I'm like, man, what are we doing? Texas, it could help us.
The voice of our generation.
It could help us, right? And right now, It's the time to exercise your rights. Go out there and do what you do, man. You know what to do. You know what I'm talking about.
Your call.
Go out there and exercise your rights. Go vote and do that. It's a good thing. It helps just to be a part of it.
I'd like to do this song for our next governor. Roll me up and smoke me when I die. And if anyone don't like it, look 'em in the eye.
When we win, we are going to legalize marijuana in the state of Texas.
And like I said, I'm not going to get preachy. I'm not going to go say, you need to do this or that. No, just go exercise your right. That's it. Just do it. I don't care where or what or who, or I'm not here. You see enough of that stuff. You're getting it on your phones or texting you, hey, vote for this or vote for that. Every commercial right now is about that. It's all the mudslinging and this and that. And so, yeah, I get it. But, man, when you see this and you're like, dude, you're getting your pot at Circle K and you're getting 2 for $5 brown bag special and some Funyun rings and some Cheetos. And what else you get there? Some sunflower seeds. What else? Oh, some of those hot dogs. Last time I was in there, they had some hot dogs. They looked like they had been there on there for a while. They looked like they got put on there about like 8 a.m. and they were still there. It was like, whoa. Yeah, one day I'll get into it. I want to get a friend of mine on here because we used to eat back in the day when we were younger and we would be all, partied out. We had a 7-Eleven right down the street and we would walk about 2 blocks down and, we'd be eyeing those all week and finally, boom, Saturday night, 2:30, 3:30 in the morning, we, get in there and like get some chili dogs. I'll have to get in that, but I'm going to have to invite my friend just to make it better because he can tell the stories better. But man, those are some fun times. But back to this deal with Circle K's in Florida being able to buy your Marble 1000s. Yeah, let me get a pack of them Willie's Reserves Light, please. Give me the 24 pack. Yeah. You know what? Give me 2. All right. Man, I bet that feels so good to be able to do that. A little bit of elbow room and freedom, right? In Texas, we do things different here.
Of the record 60 bills on marijuana reform in Texas, one promised to make it as simple as getting a traffic ticket, changing the laws that right now could mean jail time for an ounce of pot. Instead, you pay a fine.
I think it's too strict of a penalty.
I think a fine would suffice, if anything,
House Bill 63 was as close to a compromise as Democrats, Republicans, and the governor had come to. Less than 24 hours after passing the House, Lieutenant Governor Dan Patrick made it clear the bill stops here.
He is holding reform back in Texas.
Attorney Hunter White says what most people don't realize is just how much influence Patrick has in the process.
Essentially, he gets to kind of determine how everything goes.
As Lieutenant Governor, Patrick assigns committees and determines when bills are read.
If you're a senator and you want to get a bill through, you do what the governor says.
Texas Constitution designed it this way to offer a checks and balances for the governor's seat. White says while Patrick is entitled to his opinion, it doesn't seem to add up with what others in Texas want to see.
But talking your average kid with a dime bag on the street, we still can't decide whether that person is a threat to society and belongs in jail.
So I think we should be just like everybody else, because you cross over into Oklahoma and you can do, buy cannabis or CBD or whatever. And I say CBD because you can get the CBD with THC or whatever. I don't know about those things. But yeah, it's just right there, the border. But if you cross over and you have that, your life is going to be ruined, man. You're going to have to go to jail. They'll rough you up. They give you a bunch of tickets and just, put you on probation and just screw everything up for you. And it's so unfair that, if we're going to do this, if you're going to legalize cannabis in the United States, then why not just make it, all above every state, and don't leave it up to the local govern of this state. Leave it up to the people, man. Leave it up to us. We're the ones spending the money, the tax money that we can use, that you're always complaining that there's not enough. Well, you know what? And we know why there's not enough. You guys line your pockets. I'm not getting into all that stuff. My point is that we can be cashing in, taxing the hell out of it, just like Colorado and California and Las Vegas and, just all these other states that are on board that are enjoying that money that comes in on a weekly basis. And on the weekends, I'm sure it triples. Especially in this state, I think this state is really missing the point on so many things that other states are doing, right now when you look around in your local city that you're in, you see a lot of buildings that a couple of years they were operating full force, man. Everything was different. Now it's you see a lot, and there's a lot of places that are shut down. People's lost their jobs. There's so many things that have changed. People are hurting for jobs, good paying jobs, and keeping those good paying jobs. So when I see other states, Seattle, some of the young business owners who come up with these great business ideas that take off with cannabis and technology and just all these things that happen that young people and anybody can set up shop and kind of start making money and have a good living instead of going out and not making that much money and living check to check, because a lot of people do that in this city. So I think this state really, and even higher than this state, just to get on the right page in order for every state to cash in on something that just grows, and it's so many benefits for it. There's people that need it for an illness or something, and sometimes people can't get it because it's not legal in the state of Texas. So that's what I'm saying. There's so many reasons why I'm saying this, because when you read that, and then when I'll go visit my brother in San Diego, or I'll go to Vegas, or I'll go to LA, and everywhere you go, you can, go and enjoy cannabis. You can't do that here. And it irks me when I watched that show Live PD. And it's they go around, and it's like that show Cops. So they go around and kind of they show a live feed of where they're at, and it pisses me off when they're pulling somebody over and they got a little bit of pot, And it just, the way they handle it, it shouldn't be that way. It should not be that way. I've been in a room where some big advocates have spoken about, you know, when they think that the state of Texas would ever even, you know, be on that level. They're saying it might be the last state. And I believe it, but you had Beto O'Rourke, and he talked about if he won this race, he would legalize marijuana in the state of Texas.
Texans of all races and ethnicities use marijuana at roughly the same rate, but disproportionately will be black and brown Texans who are stopped by police, who are frisked, who are found in possession, who are incarcerated, who after serving time will have to check a box on every employment application form, will be denied student loans because of that conviction, will not be able to get ahead the way they should be able to get ahead. So look, when we win this, we're going to legalize marijuana in the state of Texas.
And you know what? Everybody's ears perked up. Because I've said for the longest time, it went from I roll back and I'm like, okay, this is all just a dream for this state. And because I know how the current administration that runs the state of Texas, you know, how they are about certain things. And I'm not going to get into that. I'm not going to go there. I'm trying to make my point about the marijuana situation in the state of Texas and how things got to change. We got to get up with the times, man. We got to get with the times. There's so many things that I see in my local city and I shake my head. I'm like, okay, I've been here for a while. I've seen a lot of things come and go. And then I'm like, who's in charge? Because all you have is these people who are just like, you know, I don't want to say too much about that, but you know, they just don't move when it comes to certain things. You know, I feel that they're focused on things that are not really helping the city. You know, and I talk of that music. I talk about the music angle on that, but I might be wrong. The more and more I see, you know, good shows that are coming to San Antonio, you know, I get hope, you know, because then I'm like, okay, the city's doing something, you know. So hopefully in this direction with, you know, the legalization, because there is some people that are trying to move for it in the state of Texas and San Antonio and Austin, you know, and San Marcos, all in between these little towns where, you know, the people they're out there trying to be advocates for it. And because it could really just help the local economy here and the state. I think they're missing a huge, and I see how they do that. And, you know, when they even say the word marijuana to those certain people that are in charge right now, they're like, we're not going to have that. There's no way. What are you talking about? In Colorado, you can get mushrooms and you can get pot. So what's wrong with it? What are we doing different from what they're doing? I want to debate between, you know, the people that are in charge in Denver, Colorado, or wherever that's at, where they have mushrooms and marijuana, and the people that are in charge in Texas, and seeing, okay, how can we benefit, or how could we do things different? I would love to see that in person and see why. Why not? Why not? Leave it to us, the voter, the people that run this state, that work every day, that put, we put our lives every day to better this country that we live in. And every local community could use some help. You see a lot of people that are homeless that could use help. There's a lot of people that are having to get extra jobs right now and trying to keep things together, because there's a lot of people, that are living paycheck to paycheck, right? Yeah, because there's not enough money, or jobs. So that's why I have a lot of questions about that. Like, why doesn't our state allow that? I mean, there could be more dispensaries put up. You can have shops, coffee shops. Like, man, there's so many things you can do. And can you imagine on the weekend, if you had legalized marijuana in the state of Texas, just test it out. Say, you know what? We're going to do this for the next 3 weeks. We're going to make marijuana legal, and we want to test it out. See how it would do. See how much money you would make in 3 weeks, and do all the breakdown on it, the analytics or whatever. Break it down for us and show the people, these people that are afraid of it, how we can benefit from it. Right? I don't know. I'm not a politician. I'm far from it. I just feel that in a time of need in our country, in our local communities, I feel that there's something that's right there in our face, and we're not, taking advantage of it. And in 20 years, people are going to look back and say, why were they held back from that? There's nothing wrong with it. Yeah, it's fascinating. I get pissed off every time I think about it, because we're kind of missing the boat on it. We're missing the boat on the whole thing. Yeah. So anybody out there who's listening to this podcast and disagrees with me and says, no, you're wrong, Johnny. You legalize it, there's going to be more crime. There's going to be this and that. There's going to be more whatever. Because people are out there, they have, negative thoughts about it, but they don't see what kind of money it's bringing in. And yeah, you're right. There's things that go on, crimes, but there's so many other crimes that are being committed on a day-to-day basis because people don't have jobs. And, they're going out there and committing crimes to, support themselves. I mean, let's be real, right? And you can kind of come at me about that, because you see it every day. You see people that you can tell that, man, they're just like, they're about to give up. There's nothing there for them. No resources, nothing. So yeah, it's a huge debate. Like I said, when I started talking about this, about the Circle K, the local Circle K in Florida, you'll be able to buy your medical marijuana as long as you got your card. Boom. What do you want? Marlboro 1000s, Marlboro Lights. I don't know what they would call them. Just kind of, because I remember when I used to smoke cigarettes, it was like the Marlboro Reds were the Marlboro 24s. So all right, I'll take some Marlboro 24s. It was awful. I can't stand cigarettes now. But I can tell you this right now. I'm jealous of Florida for being able to go into your local Circle K. You walk in and it's like, boom, the hot dogs are to the left. The cold iced beer, the 2 for $5 special is right there in the center. And all I got to do is grab the hot dog, grab the beers, give me some brown bags. And you know what, by the way, give me a 2 packs of Marlboro 1000s to go.
Tweet at me at Johnny Compian on Twitter. And you can also support the podcast show on anchor.fm/Johnny5150.